Put it up on Twitter.
It wasn't our best practice. I think what we have to do is find a way to make sure everyone understands the level of commitment it's going to take for us to get what we want to get. And sometimes those are hard lessons to learn. Now, we got good work done, but I didn't like the way it started and I didn't like the way it ended. You know, and a game is about starting fast and finishing strong. And we didn't demonstrate that tonight. And I think that, you know, that's going to happen. If you just let it happen and don't apply lessons to it, then you're making a mistake. And what we try to do is apply lessons, and sometimes, like I said, they're hard lessons. But there's a lot of good stuff going on, but sometimes when there's negatives, you got to point it out and you got to move through it. So that's what we'll do. A couple injuries you saw, I don't have any updates on them. You know, I don't know. Hopefully Jake's okay. I don't think it's real serious. The preliminary is it's not real serious, so, but I'll let you know tomorrow. Hopefully he doesn't need anything more than just a day or two, but we'll see. So other than that, kind of camp stuff. So
the two freshmen were out here too?
Yeah, and Sharp's coming in tomorrow. Yeah, you know what? We've had some injuries. You're allowed to have 105. We're going to bring him in and let him get to work, you know, and see where they're at. Now they've got to go through the acclimatization period of 5 days. Today for those two would be number one. So they've got to go tomorrow without pads, and then go shorter pads, and full pads on their 5th day. So I know they're excited to be up here, and I'm excited to see him work.
And Sharp is in Texas. Is that why he's?
He was in Texas, and he's getting a flight in today. It was something I've been thinking about for a couple days, and with bodies going down and knowing that we could have 105, gave it a lot of thought, talked about it as a staff, and felt like it was time to bring them in and let them start competing.
So it's 105 in any practice. It's not 105 in camp.
You can have, like, let's say we started with 104, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 105. And like Simon, Cameron, and Sam Handler, they're done. Okay, so you can bring in replacements for them. Now, the guys that go away, they can't come back. Now, those three are out for an extended period of time. So that's how the rules work.
It's like subbing in soccer.
It's kind of like subbing in soccer, yeah. Unfortunately, you have to do it sometimes because of injury. You know, I hate the fact that Cameron and Simon and Sam got hurt, but it gives some other guys a chance to come in and start competing.
Darius got some of his first reps at running back. Did you get an impression of?
I did. Yeah, I stand behind the offense, and I thought he runs hard, you know, and he kind of can find the crease. And it's also new to him right now, this scheme, but he looks like he's got some promise there. He runs with a little bit more, he's a heavy runner, you know. I mean, he's only 198 pounds, but he runs heavy. And you can feel it when he runs. I think he's going to get better and better. He catches the ball well in the backfield. I mean, he's only been there a couple days. I know that yesterday he spent the whole day up at Bruin Woods studying, and you know, I think he's really showing a commitment to getting on the field for us this year. I like that.
When you say run heavy, you mean like low center of gravity?
Yeah, you know, he drops it. He gets, you know, they say that term, gets behind his pads. You know, he can bend his knees, bend at the hip, you know, get his weight kind of behind his pads, and you know, you feel him when he's running. He doesn't run like a feather. You know, some guys run like feathers. They look really pretty and they're really fast, but they can't hit it up in there and bring any oomph, and he brings some oomph, and we need that.
So was that done on his own at Bruin Woods, that he studied on his own?
Yeah, I'm assuming so. You know, I walked by him a couple times and saw him studying, and it didn't bother him. He's a very determined young man. You know, I mean, you saw it when he was playing corner. You saw it in the spring. You know, he doesn't say much at all. He just works his tail off. When we moved him to running back, I already told you what he said to me, you know, and he didn't say it in an arrogant way, just in a confident way, and really just more of a determined way. And I mean, he's the kind of guy you like on your team, you know, because no matter what is going on, what the odds are, what situations he's placed into, he just keeps going, man. I like that about him a lot. Hopefully he can help us.
Coach, you saw Eldridge Madison think that's like a fade route in the end zone over Fabian. Is that something you see like having more of going forward?
Say what now?
Eldridge caught like a fade route in the end zone. Is that something you see more of?
I would hope so. You know, I don't want to see him caught over Fabian, but I like to see him caught. He's a big, long-arm guy, you know, and Brett can throw it up there, and he goes and attacks the ball. That's what good receivers do, is they don't let it come to them. They go attack the football, and that's what Eldridge does. And, you know, I see Van Dyke doing that. I see Jordan Payton doing that. You know, I see Devin Lucian had a really nice night tonight, you know, catching the ball. And it's just about an attitude when the ball's in the air that I'm going to go get it. And Eldridge shows that all the time. You know, it's my ball. That's how T.O. used to be. You know, I got to coach Terrell Owens, and I'm not saying Eldridge is Terrell Owens, but he had that, like, that ball is mine. And Eldridge has that.
You talking about how you want to see consistency out of Eldridge. Do you feel like you've seen that at least through a week? I mean, I know that's not that long, but...
You know, early in the week, he was kind of struggling a little bit, but the last 3 or 4 practices, I mean, I think he's really catching the ball consistently. He's running great routes. He's competing well. I think he's really taking a step. You know, I need to see him take another step. You know, and I think he will. That's the kind of attitude he has. That's the kind of work ethic he has.
Is it just us, or does Kenny Young look like a veteran, like he knows what he's doing?
Like an NFL linebacker?
He just seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Kenny's a good player. You know, we moved him up to first team today.
Yeah.
He ran with the ones. Now, our depth chart is fluid. You know, it's ever evolving. Just because a guy's a 1 one day doesn't mean he will be the next day. But Kenny has a presence to him. I mean, you guys are right. We see the same thing you see. He doesn't look like an 18-year-old freshman. You know, he's quite a man in there.
How significant is that? You move him up to the ones his day, and he has such a day like he did today.
You know, we saw that when we recruited him. You know, he was playing in an extremely competitive environment in Louisiana and excelling against some of the great players in the country and excelling. And he's come here and he certainly hasn't disappointed. You know, and like you said, you know, Coach Wooden used to talk about competitive greatness, you know, being at your best when your best is required. You take a guy like Kenny Young, you move him to the first team, and as you said, Tracy, he has a great practice. I mean, that tells you something about the guy's character, and that's what you're looking for.
You mentioned Devin, you know, one of the best matchups in practice, I feel like, is Devin versus Fabian when they go one-on-one or, like, in scrimmages. Can you comment on that? And, like,
Devin and Fabian go, yeah. What you love is you love it when your good players are competing against each other really hard. You know, when you can get a Devin Lucian going against a Fabian Moreau time after time after time, they're each going to win their battles, you know, and they're going to lose a few, and hopefully they learn when they lose and they learn when they win and they keep battling, but that's how they're going to get better, just competition. And these guys are all very, very competitive out here, and that's what we want. You know, we want competition all across the field at every position.
Is there some worry about Goforth in that shoulder that it keeps reoccurring?
No, not really, not yet. You know, his mom, she has the old Samoan tradition. She'll probably come up here tonight and pull it out of the socket. And that's what he's most afraid of. He's not afraid of, like, surgery or our doctors. He's afraid of his mom coming up, and he said there's some Samoan deal she does. So
really?
That's what's most scary to him. I haven't seen it yet. He says it works, though. He told me about it, like, oh man, my mom is going to hear about this. She's going to be up here pulling on my shoulder. So.
Zach Whitley was spotted in a neck brace. Is he okay?
Zach got a concussion. He did one of those deals where you go back and your head hits, kind of a whiplash thing, and he got a concussion. And you saw him, he's out here for a while tonight, watching practice. As you guys know from our history, anytime there's a head injury or head or neck or back, spine, we're going to be very careful. And hopefully he's back out here in the next day or two. But right now we just got to make sure that he's, you know, healthy 100% before we put him back out here with the head.
Is that Marcus Rios too?
You know, Marcus, I think Marcus just had a headache. I don't think that he hit his head. I think he just has a headache. And, you know, given Marcus's history and what he's been through, I think any time that he gets a migraine type of headache, we're just going to stop. And we're going to make sure that he's okay. That's the right thing to do with Marcus. But he didn't take a shot to the head or anything like that. So,
Thanks, guys.
okay,
Cool.
thanks, man.
Thanks, Coach.